Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Again, like I say in every video, I'm just so thankful that you are here and you're making this huge difference in your life by achieving your GED or your HiSET. Now, in this video, we're going to work on a little bit of social studies. It's really important that you focus in on social studies because that is one of the 4 GED tests or 5 HiSET tests. So we're going to be actually working on a HiSET test. But you GED friends, this is really going to help you as well. So if you're new here, click subscribe and let's get started. So let's start off by reading and then we will answer those questions. We're talking about migration, but not migration of birds, friends. This is social studies, so we're talking about migration of people. Migration occurs when people emigrate from their home country to a new country. But it can also take place when people who are internally displaced in their native country move to different regions within the same country. The graph shows global human migration from 2010 to 2020. The graph shows the reasons for human migration as being caused either by conflict, civil war, persistent terrorist attack, violent militia activity, etc., or disaster. Natural disasters such as volcanic eruptions or earthquakes, or climate-induced disasters such as long-term drought, extreme flooding, extensive wildfires, or persistent, dangerously high temperatures. And here we have the chart. As you can see, global human migration up at the top, and this is based on millions of people, and here we have the years. The key indicates that the gray has the new internal displacements by conflict. So again, that might mean civil war, persistent terrorist attacks, etc. And then the black indicates new internal displacements by disasters. So maybe flooding, earthquakes, drought, extensive heat conditions, volcanic eruptions, etc. All right, so our first question here. Approximately how many people migrated as a result of natural disasters that occurred in 2020? So here we're looking at 2020 right here. And we're looking, it says natural disasters. So let's find disasters right here. So not conflict. So that's going to be the dark one, right? The black. So if we look right here, it goes on up and then we just kind of bring it over. And it's around 30 million or just a little bit above the 30 million mark. So that gives us D31. I hope you got this question right because that is flagged as an easy question. So really make sure that you take some time practicing reading those graphs and charts, and do take the time before you actually answer questions to look at the graphs, look at the charts, see what's going on before diving into your question. The graph shows that in most years, the disaster to conflict ratio for migration is 3 to 1. So disaster to conflict. So that means that disaster here is higher and the conflict is lower. So the disaster is the 3 and the conflict is 1. This ratio does not apply every year. In which of the following years was the disaster to conflict ratio less than 3 to 1? Okay, so let's just look at each one of them. So 2010 right here, it says less than. So 3 to 1. Notice here the black right here is significantly higher than the conflict. So way more disasters than conflict in 2010. And so that's not smaller, so that's not going to be our answer. 2012, here we've got it right here. So looks like our disaster is about 30 and our conflict is about 7. So is that smaller than 3 to 1? No, it's larger. It looks like it's maybe about 4 to 1. So that's not our answer. Okay, 2016. Right here. That looks like a good 3 to 1 ratio as well, right? So look at the disaster, it's around 25, and the conflict is back to that 7 mark, or maybe 8, right? So it looks like it's closer to 3 to 1. Now we have 2018 right here. That looks a bit better. So here our disaster is maybe at 17 and our conflict is maybe 10, right? So that's a 17 to 10. Let's make this so it's a little bit easier. Let's turn that 17 to a 5. And now we have a 3 to 2. 5 goes into both of those, just reduce those numbers. So about a 3 to 2 ratio, is that smaller than a 3 to 1 ratio? Yeah, the difference is smaller. So D is our answer. And this, friends, is a medium type of problem. You do have to know a little bit of your math basics, but I know you've got this. Number 13, which had the lowest number of disaster and second lowest number of conflict migration in millions? So let's dive into the disaster. And again, disaster here is indicated by the black. So we're looking for which one had the lowest disaster on this chart. It looks like it's right in here, 2011. But let's look at the conflict one as well. So we've got some low conflicts. Looks like 2010 is slightly lower. And there's our gray right there, second lowest. So 2011 is our answer, which is A. And again, this one is an easy question. So really make sure that you know how to read these charts and graphs. Which year shows the greatest discrepancy between conflict and disaster migration? I think you need to know what the word discrepancy means. So just discrepancy is really just difference. So which one had the highest versus the lowest, the biggest gap between the two? And because of that word, it turns us into a medium level question. So which one has the highest to the lowest? Definitely 2010. Look, it had the lowest here for conflict, but then it had the highest for disaster. So 2010 is definitely at A. And now here we've got a harder question. Okay, if the migration continues to follow the trend started in 2018, okay, so starting 2018, so we can just cancel out the rest of this, right? Starting right here and moving forward. What prediction can be made about future migrations due to conflicts and disasters? Okay, so looks like disasters, it's going up, right? See that going up, right? Maybe it's going to continue going up. Whereas look at the conflict. It's more or less equal, right? So A, there will be a steady increase in migration due to conflict. No, because the conflict is staying about equal, right? B, there will be a steady increase in migration due to climate-related disasters. Yep, look at that steady increase going up. But let's look at the other questions. C, there will be a steady decrease in migration due to climate-related disasters. No, not a decrease, an increase, right? And D, there will be an overall decrease in migration from all causes. No. So our answer is B. I hope you got that one right before I gave you the answer. But friends, that is it on migration. Well, friends, that is it for this social studies video. I want you to do me a favor, comment below and tell me that you're here. Because if you stuck until the end, even though it was only a couple questions, it really shows me that you are purely persistent and you're going to get this. I just know it. You will get your GED or your HiSET because you're persistent. You're still here. Now, my friends, make sure that you believe in yourself just like I believe in you. And I know that you can do this. And I will see you in the next video, especially because this is a short one. Make sure you move on to another one. Bye and peace.